And joining us for more, former Executive Director of Americans for Liberty, Brian Lieb, and international spokesman for the Gush Etzion Regional Council, Josh Hasten. Good morning to both of you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Now, the United States only has 11 aircraft carriers, and we sent 2 of them to Israel. The number of American casualties now in this conflict has risen to 29. How active of a presence do you see America having? Brian, I'll start with you.
Well, we'll see how this unfolds. At the end of the day, if you talk to any Israeli, they will tell you that the major concern right now is Hezbollah on Israel's northern border. And just minutes before coming on the air here, I have alerts on my phone that the town of Nahariya, which is very close to Lebanon, rocket sirens are now sounding in Nahariya. So that is the biggest fear that I think a lot of us have here. Hamas certainly is a terrorist group that needs to be eradicated, but Hezbollah has 10 times more of resources than Hamas does. And at the end of the day, the U.S. carriers on sitting out there in the water, they're going to be tested in terms of whether or not they get involved with this war.
Josh, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is also saying that the United States will not unfreeze the $6 billion to Iran that was given in exchange for the hostages. Take a listen.
None of the funds that have now gone to Qatar have actually been spent or accessed in any way by Iran. Indeed, funds from that account are overseen by the Treasury Department, can only be dispensed for humanitarian goods, food, medicine, medical equipment, and never touch Iranian hands.
Now, that money hasn't touched Iranian hands.
Yeah, it's frozen.
It's frozen. And even when it was unfrozen, it still hadn't have been taken out, luckily.
Correct.
So will this money, would it have affected the war in Gaza if it wasn't to be frozen again? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, whether it's the money or not the money, the bottom line here is that Iran is the head of the snake. And unfortunately, this administration in Washington does not realize that when you show weakness to terrorists, you get what you saw exactly 8 days ago down in Gaza. So Iran is responsible. Iran is behind this. Iran is a supporter. Its tentacles are near and wide throughout the Middle East and throughout the world. Whether it's Hezbollah in Lebanon, whether it's Hamas down in Gaza, it all stems from Iran. And in terms of the U.S. right now, you were talking about the warships here. It's obviously greatly appreciated that the U.S. is sending warships here. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about rooting out the evil of Hamas and defending the borders of the state of Israel, Israel has to do that by itself, or will do that by itself. And Hamas should know that Israel is coming. We are coming for you. And we are not going to stop this time until complete victory. After savagely murdering 1,300 Israelis, burning children alive, we are coming after Hamas. And by the way, I just saw on my phone a report several minutes ago, Hamas is actually taking away the car keys from the residents of northern Gaza, not letting them flee south. They're holding them there as human shields. They are pure evil. And it all goes back to Iran.
Right. I just want to follow up on that. 30 seconds to you, Brian. We know that Hamas is not letting Palestinians leave. They're telling the civilians to stay. They're using blockades. They're taking keys away. Just wrap it up for us in 30 seconds with what Hamas is actually doing right now.
Well, Josh was exactly correct. Hamas uses innocent human beings as human shields on a routine basis. That is their calling card, and that's what they're going to continue to do now. But, we've got to ask the question, guys, why is the civilized Arab world, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, UAE, and other countries, why are they not stepping up to bring in these Palestinian refugees? Why aren't they doing it right now? That's a question I think a lot of us have to be asking.
Very fair questions. Thank you so much, Josh Hasten, Brian Lieb. We appreciate your input.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.